Hey, this is Justin from breakintocre.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about exit opportunities for real estate analysts and associates. So if you're trying to figure out where you can go next in the business, if you're already in commercial real estate, or you're trying to decide if you should get into commercial real estate in the first place, stick around for this video. Now, if you're new here on this channel, we talk about real estate investing careers and real estate finance. So if you're looking to break into the industry or advance your current real estate investing career, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So a question I've been asked a lot lately is, what are the exit opportunities for a new real estate analyst? And because I've gotten this question so much, I wanted to make a video on it. Now, this video is really going to cover the analyst and associate roles. So different companies have different levels. You might see an analyst as an entry-level role, or you might see an analyst as a more senior role. You also might see an analyst move to the associate level, or a junior analyst move to a senior analyst. But what we're really talking about today is the analyst and associate role, and what to do next and what you can do next after 1, 2, or 3 years working in that capacity. So what I've seen throughout my career is really 4 different paths that people generally take after taking an analyst or associate role. So the first and probably most popular path is acquisitions. So this would be an acquisitions manager or director or vice president. So this job would involve managing a team of analysts, managing the underwriting process, touring deals, making offers, and closing on transactions. Now, this step is really more of a leadership role where you're much more focused on actually finding deals and closing on the transactions than doing the analysis and underwriting of those transactions. You'll likely be managing a team of analysts that are going to run the first part of underwriting for you, and then you're going to make adjustments and edits to that underwriting based on your experience and what you see when you go out on tours. Now, to set yourself up for an exit opportunity like this, your best bet as an analyst or associate is to get into a role where you're underwriting transactions and really going through the valuation process, similar to what an acquisitions manager, director, or vice president would do. So roles like acquisitions analyst or associate, or investment sales analyst or associate are great stepping stones into a kind of role like this. If you are able to get on the principal side as an acquisition analyst or associate, you're also able to see how investors actually look at deals and how to look at deals and underwrite deals with a realistic perspective based on an owner and operator and the experience of that owner and operator. Investment sales also has a lot of upside because you'll know so many different players in the market and have so many relationships. So when it comes time to actually look for an acquisitions job, you likely have the relationships to make that happen. Now, the next exit opportunity for an analyst or an associate is an asset manager role. Now, an asset manager is usually directly responsible for the performance of a portfolio of somewhere between 8 and 12 assets, and they're going to run that business plan, they'll manage construction, and they'll likely end up running the leasing of those properties as well. So to set yourself up for a job like this, an asset management or portfolio management analyst would be a great stepping stone for you. This way, you know the operations of properties, you've seen many different assets and how they actually operate over time versus how they're actually underwritten in the original pro forma. Another thing that a role like this does is shows you what the biggest levers are that you can pull to make sure that you hit returns. So knowing things like increasing rents and decreasing operating expenses, but also other little things like adding washers and dryers to a multifamily unit and the value add component of that, and also things like adding other income line items that can increase your top line while your expenses stay stagnant. Now, the next exit opportunity that you might see is a producer in a brokerage firm. So this really involves sourcing new business, managing client relationships, managing a team of analysts who will produce broker opinion of value or BOV reports and offering memorandums, and representing owners on the sale of their assets. Now, to set yourself up for production in a brokerage role, I'd highly recommend going into brokerage in the first place, either as an investment sales analyst or as a debt and equity placement analyst. This will give you the foundational underwriting skills to be able to manage your team of analysts, and will also give you a huge head start with knowing the players in the industry and getting on your feet in the first 1 to 2 years in your business. Now, it's important to keep in mind that for a brokerage production role, it's very difficult to make that switch from an analyst role on the principal side to a brokerage production role. So if you think you have any desire to go into brokerage trying to source up new business and go in as a producer, I'd highly recommend starting in brokerage, because if you start in brokerage, you can go to the principal side very easily, but if you start in the principal side, it's a lot harder to go into the brokerage side of the business. And finally, exit opportunity number 4 is entrepreneurship. Now, I've seen many people take the leap after being an analyst or associate and without taking that next step in their career. Oftentimes, many analyst and associate roles will have additional responsibilities, so you're doing really everything behind the scenes and you know how to close on transactions and manage deals. So to set yourself up for success in entrepreneurship, the best bet for you is to be in a smaller entrepreneurial type firm where you're touching everything. So that may look like an acquisitions and asset management hybrid role where you're working on new acquisitions and closing new deals, but also working on the asset management, working on the portfolio management, doing some asset management modeling, and also potentially even doing some asset management of 1, 2, or 3 assets in the portfolio. Now, with those 4 exit opportunities, one thing I do want to note is that if you don't think you're going to be in real estate long term, but you think real estate could be a stepping stone to another industry, what I'd recommend is to not get into real estate in the first place. I've very, very rarely seen that done, and I've gotten questions along the lines of, I have this opportunity at this prestigious real estate investment firm, and I want to go into a different industry later on in my career. I'd recommend not doing that. Real estate investment skills are very targeted at real estate specifically, so if you want to get into general private equity or investment banking, I'd recommend going those routes directly first without going into real estate at all. So hopefully that helps if you're trying to choose where you want to go next in your real estate career, or if you're trying to choose what kind of job you want to take when you first break into the industry. Now, if you're looking to break into the industry or looking to advance your career, I'd highly recommend checking out Break Into CRE Academy. That's going to teach you everything you need to know to land a job as an analyst or associate at a top real estate investment or brokerage firm, and includes courses on real estate financial modeling, real estate deal analysis, and career training as well to get your foot in the door at the firm that you want to work for. Now, if you like this video and want to see more career-related content like this, let me know by hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone else who might find this helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.